Hey man, y'all know how black folk don't believe in marriage. That's the white man is the European value institution of marriage. But then we'll get on here and preach all this generational wealth bullshit. And meanwhile, don't believe in marriage, even though that's the foundation to all of this shit.
How many of you guys like a really good visual presentation? Like you feel like you understand what's being said better when you can see it, right? I'm that kind of person. The information that I'm going to show you, I'm going to put the spreadsheet here, is directly from the Census Bureau. So my name is Michelle. I'm the author of The Black Child's Guide to Surviving America. And conversations like these are exactly why I wrote this book and why I believe that this book will help you if you find interest in these kind of conversations. So now let's get into what the data says. They do allow you to download it in an Excel format, but now I put it on my computer and I color code it because color coding is what's going to show you the differences. And I know you've probably heard it before, but no, it's not enough. You need to see it. Now the colors are going to be pretty much very easy to follow along with. All you need to know is pretty much green means good, right? Yellow means it's okay, we're going further away. Orange means like, okay, we're getting into the hot zone. Red means red hot, and anything after that means like, okay, we're burning, we're on fire. And then what is green means the poverty rates are 10% or lower. Once it goes from over 10 to about 20%, that's when it's yellow. Once it goes over 20%, that's when it's orange. And then once it goes over 30%, that's when it's red. So if you look to the left here, and this is all the years. So we're going from year 2021 all the way to 1974. And this is for the white alone population. As you can see here, and the number right now, it says 15,099, but it really means 15 million. What they do is like they break it down. It gives you multiples of 1,000, whatever it may be. Okay. So 15 million people, if you go all the way to 1974, since getting married in the white alone population, the poverty rate has remained below 4%. So that means from 1974 going all the way up, it has remained below 4%. And you see as of 2021, it's been around 3%. So pretty much since 1974 all the way up to 2021, the poverty rate in the white community, like, you know, how it's labeled, the white alone, not Hispanic, because they have to make it clear because there are many Hispanic people that identify as white. And I feel like the Census Bureau is saying, man, you guys are messing with my statistics. Like, put yourself under Hispanic. But many identify as white, so they have to now further clarify and make sure they know, no, I'm speaking about white people specifically, okay? And so on average, that has remained below 7%, okay, from 1974 till now. So we're talking about 50 years here that the numbers, we're actually in 2024, this is up to 2021, so it's close to 50 years. Now, if you go over that, this is families with a male householder and no spouse. So that means single parent who's a male, essentially, that has children under the age of 18. So pretty much it's yellow, right? There's been some times between 2000 to 1997 where there's been some green there. The poverty rate has been below 10%, but for the most part, the males have been in the yellow. But earlier, 1974, they were fending for themselves. And on average, you're seeing there was about 1 million men. As time goes on, or single fathers. It's stayed in that number, like right below 2 million in terms of the males that lead the home with children. Now, to the far right here, you have white women who lead the household that have children under the age of 18. And as you can see here, from 2021, it's in the orange, which means it's 20% or higher, the poverty rate. And if you go down to 1974, the poverty rate has pretty much been in the orange. So it's consistently been 20% or more. But look at the quantity. So white women have gone from about 4 million in 1974, 4.6, almost 5 million, leading single family homes. There's like a big push in, let's see, what year is that, 1984 to about 2001-ish, where white women definitely decided they were going to be single parents. There's a big growth there. And then suddenly there's this huge drop of them saying, no, single women or single motherhood is not for us, or whatever it may be, or maybe they're getting married, I don't know. But now let's move further, going up to 2021. From 2016 to about 2009, this is after the market crash, there was a difficult time for a lot of single mothers because they went into the reds. Poverty went above 30%. So now I'm not going to spend too much time. Let's look at what has happened to the Black community during that same time period, okay? We're going to start from 1974. Remember, to the far left is married couples, the middle is single males essentially leading the home, and to the far right is single Black women. Now, as you can see with single Black women, is starting off with purple. We'll get there. Now, there's been far less single women or Black women that are single mothers in comparison to what if you do it just by the numbers, but the white population has a far larger population. So let's just scroll up and you see all that yellow on to the far left with married Black people. Then something drastic happens in 1993. Because from 1994 and on, so pretty much Black families, married families, have had poverty rates that have been above 10%. But in 1994, it went below that amount. Okay. And from 1994 to pretty much 2021, they've maintained being below that 10% poverty rate. Now, they've definitely grazed very close to it, 9%, 8%, 7% here. But the only times there were really any yellows, as you can see here, was from 2009 to about 2014-ish, because of what? The market crash, and it took some time to recoup and restore. For many single men that have children under the age of 18, times consistently got harder. They've gone from being about 10 to 20% and then rising into 20% as time goes on. And then they've remained around 20 to 30. Now you're seeing black there. What does black mean? Black means like, listen, we're in the 40s. Purple means we're in the 50s. It's just rising. Okay. So 40% of the population, when the market crashed, went into poverty of single fathers, essentially. Okay. And the amount of them continues to rise as time goes on. There's a lot of suffering happening there. Okay. Well, let's look at black women. Black women in 1974, they started off at 52% of the entire population. And the amount of them in poverty, it's risen. And it looks like the highest point was in about 1996, somewhere around that time. And then there's slowly been declining, and they're getting out of poverty as well. But they've gone from now 50% to now being majority in the 30 percentiles, or 30% being in poverty, but high 30%. We're talking about 37.4% as of 2021. So no matter what people are saying out there, the proof is in the pudding, as they like to say, because this is not only for white Americans, this has also been for black Americans, which is that if you are a single father, right, or you are a single mother, you struggle more. Now, single black women have been getting better financially over time, but they're still in the reds. They haven't even made it to orange. So they're getting better. Single black male parents, financially, things are getting harder and harder over time, but they've had a great year in 2021 when it's finally gone to 17%. And the last time they were in the yellows was basically in 2001, right? So it took 20 years to see that shift. But who has consistently, for the most part, remained in the green is married black couples. So this idea that marriage is just a piece of paper and it's not important or all these different things, marriage is key in America. Marriage is key. So the solution, obviously, would be to find a good partner to get married to, because partnership works. The scripture says that one chases away 1,000, but two chases away 10,000. Your efforts multiply when you have a good partner, okay? And regardless of what people try to say about marriage, the numbers consistently show that marriage has a lot to do with what keeps people out of poverty, okay? But let's say you don't want that for yourself. Well, no problem. If you don't want marriage for yourself, then you should not be going out there and getting a career that a married person is getting. And this is what I mean. If a married woman is going to school to be a teacher, that shouldn't be your career. Because on average, communities where you see low crime rates, low poverty rates, and quality schools, the average household income is $150,000. So that means that if you're going to school to get a degree, it should be one that can afford you $150,000. It should be a degree that's going to earn you $150,000. It should not be a degree that's going to get you $46,000 a year, because of course you're going to struggle more because of the fact that you're already not dealing with having a partner because you don't want one. And if you choose now to have children, because many people are sexually active, that's a part of the culture, and then now you have a child, now they have to fend on that 30-40 grand a year income, and you can't sustain it because you don't have a partner to bring in the other half of it. No, you need to go make 2-3 times what they would have, right? That means that you need to be more ambitious when it comes to career choices and degree choices to ensure that you're able to sustain your singlehood, especially if you are sexually active, plan to be sexually active, because the likelihood of you having children is pretty much extremely high. So that's my 2 cents on this topic. Again, my name is Michelle. I'm the author, again, of The Black Child's Guide to Surviving America. The link to that book can be found in the bio. Just some valuable tips, insights that can help you when it comes to navigating this culture and a lot of the information that's thrown at our faces. So anyways, the proof is in the pudding, like I say.